I'd like to welcome the audience of the July 17th, 2018 Parish Planning and Zoning meeting. Would you all please stand while Coach Williams says the invocation and leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear God, again we come thank Thee for allowing us to see another blessed day. Thank You for life, for health, thank You for strength. And we come asking Your presence in this meeting tonight. We pray for the blessing upon this board and upon this staff. We pray for those who come seeking help from this board, that the Holy Spirit guide and lead us, that we might do that which is right. This we offer as our prayer this night. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
I pray that the
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Coach. Ms. Christie, would you please call the roll?
Chair Art Little,
Present.
Vice Chair Randy Armator,
Here.
Mr. Jake Porsche,
Here.
Miss Latricia Cobb, Miss Julia Dickerson,
Present.
Miss Sharon Felicia, here, Miss Janelle Hyatt, Mr. Kyle Link, Mr. Gary Navarre,
Here.
Mr. Kirk Smith,
Here.
and Mr. LaSalle Williams.
here.
Thank you, Ms. Christie. I'll explain the rules of procedure. This is an 11-member board. It will take the majority of those members present to grant or deny any request heard tonight. The chair will refrain from voting unless that vote might affect the outcome. The meeting will be conducted with me reading the requests from the agenda. The planning staff will give a presentation and report their recommendations. If the applicant would like to add to the staff's presentations, or if someone from the audience has comments, please come to the microphone and state your name, address, and the nature of your request. All persons wishing to speak other than the applicant need to fill out a blue card, request to appear form located in the back of the room. This form must be given to the staff member prior to the reading of the agenda item. As required by this board's bylaws, in all cases, the proponents will be limited to 10 minutes. Opponents will be granted 10 minutes as well, with each speaker allowed no more than 3 minutes. I recommend that a spokesperson be selected if there is a large group wanting to speak on the same agenda item. If 4 or more speakers' request forms are submitted, the time allotted for individual speakers will be limited based upon the number of forms submitted. The chair has the right to limit speakers who present redundant information or personal attacks. In unique situations, the chair may extend or the board may vote to extend time allotted for the speakers. After discussion, the board will vote on each request. I will announce the decision of the board after the vote. The variance and exceptions requests are final tonight. The road abandonment and rezoning cases will go before the police jury for final action on July 19th, 2018 at the 5:30 p.m. meeting. This meeting is being filmed by Calcasieu Parish Government Channel and can be viewed on Wednesday and Thursday following the meeting. For additional run dates, check the website at Channel 5 in Lake Charles, Sulphur, Moss Bluff, Westlake, Benton, DeQuincy, and Gillis, Channel 99 in Corliss and Grand Lake. Please either turn off or silence all your electronic devices at this time. Take appropriate action. Item number 5, take appropriate action on the minutes of the May 22nd, 2018 Planning and Zoning meeting. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a motion by Ms. Cobb.
Second.
A second by Mr. Link. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Minutes are approved. Item number 6, take appropriate action on item applicant AB 0618 0008, a request by Laura Goss, a request to abandon and revoke the original dedication of approximately 200 feet of an unnamed road in the 300 block of Goss Ferry Road in Ward 1. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Motion by Mr. Navarre and a second by Ms. Dickerson. Ms. Wallace, would you please read?
This right-of-way is located in the Moss Bluff area. The right-of-way was dedicated and accepted by the police jury in 1894. For a number of years, this southerly end of the road was used as a ferry landing. Since ferry service ended, this portion of the right-of-way has not been used publicly. The adjacent property owners would like to have this portion abandoned to limit public access to their property. And for the record, we have obtained a survey of the right-of-way to be abandoned, and the exact distance to be abandoned is 171.8 feet. We have not received any written opposition to this request, and because the road has not been publicly used since ferry service ended prior to 1950, the staff recommends the request be granted.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Does the applicant have anything to add to the staff's recommendation? Any questions or response from the board members? With no opposition, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item number 7, take appropriate action on EX 04180023, a request by Herbert Abstract Company LLC for an exception to allow a borrow pit, 97 acres in the 8,000 block of Ward Line Road in Ward 3. I'll entertain a motion for approval with
So
conditions.
moved.
Have a motion by Mr. Navarre,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Dickerson. Ms. Wallace?
This property is located southeast of Lake Charles and encompasses approximately 120 acres of agricultural zone land. If approved, the applicant plans to have the pit excavated in 3 phases. Upon completion, the pit will be used as a personal use pond. This request was deferred at your last meeting due to questions about the amount of the required road damage bond. We have amended the recommended condition to allow for negotiations between the applicant and the parish engineer on that matter. And in the time since your last meeting, I believe these 2 parties were able to reach a compromise on the bond amount. We have not received any written opposition to this request. Because minimal impacts are to be expected, the staff recommends that the request be granted with the following conditions: that the development must be in accordance with section 26122(1F4) of the parish code, that a road damage bond in an amount determined by the parish engineer must be submitted to the Division of Engineering prior to issuance of a development permit, that utilization of additional parish roads is subject to future bonding requirements in the event parish roads are impacted by heavy truck traffic, and that the development meets the conditions of the letter of no objection from Gravity Drainage District Number 4 of Ward 3, dated April 24th, 2018.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Does the applicant have anything to add to the staff's recommendations? Any board members have any questions or concerns? Being there's no opposition, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Agenda item number 8, take appropriate action on EX 06180027, a request by Brandon Hewitt for an exception to allow residential development, manufactured home, at 4100 Corliss Drive in Ward 4. I'll entertain a motion to defer.
So moved.
I would suggest that that be until your next meeting. I apologize, we should have put a date on the agenda.
Okay. A motion and a second. Motion by Mr. Navarre and a second by Ms. Hyatt to defer till our next meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item number 9, and we do have 2 blue cards on item number 9 in opposition. Take appropriate action on RZ 0518 0072, a request by Top Bid Home Buyer LLC to rezone from mixed residential R2 to multifamily residential RM to allow residential development, 6 duplexes in the 1600 block of Thompson Road in Ward 1. I'll entertain a motion for approval with conditions.
So moved.
I have a motion by Ms. Cobb, and a second by Mr. Link. Ms. Wallace?
This property is located in the Moss Bluff area and encompasses 1.18 acres. If the request is approved, each unit will have 2 bedrooms and 1 bath. The applicant has withdrawn his request for a variance to increase the density and will instead build only 4 duplexes for a total of 8 units. We have not received any written opposition to this request, and because the proposed use is consistent with the character of the area, the staff recommends the request be granted with the following conditions: that the development adhere to the site plan on file, provided that the director may authorize adjustments, that all exterior lighting must be oriented inward toward the development, that a runoff management plan will be required unless appropriate waiver is granted by the Division of Engineering, and that the development adhere to stormwater best management practices.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Does the applicant have anything to add to the staff's recommendations? If not, we do have 2 in opposition, Ms. Brenda Denny. Tadman, I'm sorry. If you would, please state your name and address.
Good afternoon. My name is Brenda Tadamy. I live at 1584 Thompson Road in Moss Bluff. These apartments, I'm not too much happy about having. We only have one way in that area, one way in and one way out. And we have a apartment complex on the south side, and it's just a lot of traffic in there. And I just don't think we need anything else coming in there, because it's just so busy back in there, and, you know, one way in and one way out. We have buses and all kind of stuff coming back in there. If they had another way out, I mean, that's
Okay,
just one way in and one way out.
thank you very
We have
much.
church back there too.
Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate you coming up. Ms. Henderson? Please state your name and address for the records, please, ma'am.
Cynthia Henderson. My address is 1662 Thompson Road.
Okay. And you're in opposition to this?
Yes, I've been there over 50 years, and we got a nice, quiet place. I have 4 grandchildren that live there, and one gonna be 5, 1 7, 1 12, and 1 gonna be 14. And I've already had peeping Tom in my back door, and we've already had people done robbed my nephew back there. The stop sign at the corner where they have the other apartments, half of them don't even stop at the stop sign. You gotta be careful there. They have some that has those 4-wheelers already. I have little grandchildren, then I have a little 1-year-old, and it's dangerous. And like she said, one way in, one way out, it's gonna be terrible. A lot of traffic going back and forth, and I wanna protect my kids, because we don't know who's gonna come in there. And so I'm very concerned about that. I wanna protect my grandkids, and I just want it to be safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Henderson. Does any of our board members have any questions? Is the applicant present?
Do you have something, how many other projects, or, I don't know you would call them, that we have in the area?
Like
Similar duplex, like sets of duplex, not one duplex on a lot.
But if you take
We
a
have-
look
we're
at the,
talking about 12 units here.
right.
We have this already?
well,
It's
keep in
down to
mind,
8 units, right?
he withdrew the request for the variance, so he's only gonna do 4 duplexes for a total of 8 units. But if you look at the aerial photography, and I believe the speakers referenced those, if you go all the way south on Thompson Road, there's actually 6 duplexes down at the end of the road. And I believe that y'all rezoned for that, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so the board and the police jury rezoned the land on the south side of the road for those 6 duplexes. So that was basically what helped us make our decision to recommend in favor of it.
And we have multifamily lots in here now?
A few, yes. Where those duplexes are on the south side is zoned RM. I'm not sure if,
East of there.
do we have the zoning map?
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah.
The rest of Georgia Road's zoned orange.
You can see all the brown property is zoned RM multifamily residential. So there's those 2 lots down at the end of Thompson that have the 6 duplexes total, and then the others that are on the south side of Georgia Road. And then also that purple area is zoned for manufactured home park. It's just not used that way.
The 4 lots?
Yes.
And how many manufactured homes would be able to go in there? Or is that,
We'd have to.
it depends, okay.
5,000
few.
square feet. 5,000 square feet per manufactured
Oh,
home.
okay.
So we'd have to figure out
Less the
the map.
roadway or whatever.
Right.
Okay. It's just never been drawn up or utilized as,
Right. I think there's some single-family homes there now.
oh, is there?
Would the applicant like to address anything in these issues? Okay, thank you. And you're welcome to come to the podium and state your name and address and advise of any.
My name's Jack Manuel. I live at 720 UN Road, Lake Charles, Louisiana, 70611. I did development where the other 6 duplexes are. When I went through zoning, was approved for 8 duplexes at the end of Thompson Road. I only ended up building 6 of them. I withdrew the other duplexes the other day after talking to the health department, Wes and them. They were saying that to meet the criteria to look like everything else in the area, only 4 duplexes they were gonna approve. So that's why I withdrew the other one. I'm only gonna go in there and build 4 of them if y'all allow me to. To get some of the other people that came up and spoke, I had one of my rentals come vacant the other day. My rent is anywhere from $7 to $7.50 back there. I'm way below the market, dealing with the market that we're in right now. When I listed it, I had over 25 calls in less than 10 minutes. People wanting that apartment at $7.50 a month. I'm not very high rent. I stay where working class people can afford it, and that's what I'm looking at on these new apartments also. I still feel the need is in the area for rentals is very high at this time with all the plant work going on.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
Ms. Wallace, David mentioned that there's a one-way in and one-way out. I see 2 or 3 exits getting off of that. Is
No.
that correct or not?
Thompson Road only has that one outlet, that Cassio Road.
Okay,
It dead ends to the north and dead ends to the south.
okay.
Yes, sir. And at one time, I did try to buy the property at the end of Thompson Road to donate it to the parish. The landowners refused to sell it to me. That was trying to make another way in and out of there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussions or comments?
Just for the record, there is no, above Cassio Road, there is no other multi-family zoned areas, correct?
Multifamily, correct?
Well, but as of now, the use. Because when I go to the actual aerial, what's zoned in blue or purple, looks like some lots
Full of
would just
houses.
sit right.
I would have to double check, because if you keep in mind that the R2 zoning does allow one duplex per lot. So I would probably have to check the aerial photography and some of the street views to verify that there's no other duplexes, but there is no other multifamily north of Cassius.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Anyone else have any comments or concerns? If none, Ms. Christie, could you do a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Ms. Cobb,
No.
Ms. Galicia,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
No.
Mr. Navarre,
Yes.
Mr. Porsche,
Yes.
Ms. Hyatt,
Yes.
Ms. Dickerson,
Yes.
Mr. Link,
Yes.
and Mr. Armitage.
Yes.
8 for and 2 against.
Thank you, Ms. Christie. Motion carries. Agenda item number 11. Nope, I'm sorry. 10. VAR 06180045, a request by Top Bid Home Buyers LLC for a variance to increase density requirements. This has been withdrawn. Next agenda item number 11. Take appropriate action on case RZ 05180073, a request by Guidry Property Development LLC to rezone from single-family residential to mixed residential R2 to allow residential development duplex at 900 block of Tallow Road in Ward 3. I entertain a motion for approval with conditions.
So moved.
A motion by Ms. Cobb, and a second by Mr. Link. Ms. Wallace?
This property is located in South Lake Charles and encompasses a 1/4 of an acre. If the request is approved, the applicant will construct a 2-story duplex. Each unit will have 2 bedrooms and 2 baths containing approximately 1,100 square feet. We have not received any written opposition to this request. Because the proposed zoning is consistent with the zoning of the area, the staff recommends that the request be granted with the following conditions: that the development adhere to the site plan on file, provided that the director may authorize adjustments; that the development adhere to stormwater best management practices; that all exterior lighting must be oriented inward; and that a runoff management plan will be required unless appropriate waiver is granted by the Division of Engineering.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Does the applicant have anything to add to the staff's recommendations? We have no opposition. Does any of the board members have any questions or concerns? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Agenda item number 12, take appropriate action on RZ 06180074, a request by Whispering Meadow RV LLC to amend ordinance number 5452, that the development adhere to the site plan, 54 recreational vehicle spaces, God bless you, to allow a revised site plan 90 recreational vehicle spaces total at 3220 Westwood Road in Ward 4. I'll entertain a motion for approval with conditions.
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Navarre
Second.
and a second by Ms. Cobb. Ms. Wallace?
This property is located north of Westlake and encompasses nearly 10 acres of land. The current RV park at this location was established in 2004 and expanded in 2008. Since that time, the park has come under new ownership, and the new owner is requesting the expansion of the number of spaces within the existing footprint of the park. We have not received any written opposition to this request, and because minimal, the staff recommends that the request be granted with the following conditions: that the development adhere to the revised site plan on file with the division, provided the director may authorize adjustments, and that permitting is subject to approval of the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Does the applicant have anything to add to the staff's recommendations? Please state your name and address, please.
Robin Bisoni, 1010 Lakeland Drive, Lake Charles 70605. I'm representing the current owner. I just wanted to let you know I was available if you have any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Does the board members have any questions or concerns? We have no opposition and blue cards and no written oppositions. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Agenda item number 13. The next item on the agenda is to advise that the police jury took the following action on June 21st, 2018, with reference to the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Board from the June 19th, 2018 meeting. TSWS Environmental Harvest Drive, police jury, Planning and Zoning approved, police jury upheld. Lynn Fugler, Pujo Road, Planning and Zoning approved, police jury upheld. Robert Miller, Mobile Village Road, Planning and Zoning approved, police jury upheld. E-Tronics Workshop, Park Road, Planning and Zoning approved, police jury upheld. H.C. Drew Estates Mega Site, Highway 90 West, Planning and Zoning approved, the police jury upheld. 9 Oaks East Tank Farm Road, Planning and Zoning denied, police jury deferred. Great Southern Group, South Douglas Parkway, Planning and Zoning approved, the police jury upheld. Savoy Investments, Red Rose Drive, Planning and Zoning approved, police jury upheld. The next item on the agenda is to advise that the next regularly scheduled Planning and Zoning meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 21st in the police jury meeting room. Adjournment, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Dickerson, seconded by Ms. Cobb. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.